Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Wednesday, August 5th, 2020. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's NHL scores and look ahead to today's scores. NBA, I'm going to recap yesterday's games, look ahead to today's games. Same for Major League Baseball. I'm going to pick the first MLS's back tournament semifinal game. I'll give you a pick for the PGA Championship coming up this weekend and my best bet of the day. All right, we'll start with the NHL. We'll recap yesterday's games, look ahead to today's games, including a game that is already underway. Islanders over the Panthers 4-2. Islanders are up 2-0 in the series. Number 3 started the game with a goal and assist. Mike Hoffman. Number 2 started the game with the goal and assist. Ryan Polak. And number 1 started the game with 2 goals. Jordan Eberle. Preds over the Coyotes 4-2 to even up that series at 1 apiece. Number 3 started the game with a goal, Nick Menino. Number 2 started the game with a goal and assist, Ryan Johansson. Number 1 started the game with 24 saves on 26 shots. Juicy Saros getting the start in goal for Nashville in this game. Maple Leafs over the Blue Jackets 3-0 to even up that series at 1 apiece. Number 3 started the game with a goal, John Tavares. Number 2 started the game with an assist, Zach Hyman. Number 1 started the game with a goal and assist, Austin Matthews. Flames over the Jets 6-2. To take a 2-1 series lead. Number 3 started the game with a goal and assist, Mikael Backlund. Number 2 started the game with a goal and 2 assists, Sean Monahan. Number 1 started the game with 33 saves on 35 shots, Cam Talbot. Hurricanes over the Rangers 4-1 to complete the sweep for the Rangers. Number 3 started the game with an assist, and Andrei Svechnikov. Number 2 started the game with 2 goals and assists, Sebastian Aho. Number 1 started the game with 37 saves on 38 shots, James Reiner. He really shut the Rangers down there at the end of the second period, and that was the difference in this game. The Rangers had some great chances, but Reiner just kept denying him a couple great saves. Was a big part of that Hurricanes win and sweep over the Rangers. Canucks over the Wild 4-3. Number 3 started the game with 2 goals, Kevin Fiala. Number 2 started the game with a goal and assist, Bo Horvat. Number 1 started the game with a goal and assist, JT Miller. Going on right now is the Islanders and the Panthers. 3 minutes into the game. I think the Panthers are going to win this game to avoid a sweep. I just don't see Joel Quenneville getting swept. I think his team's talented. I think that Bobrovsky just has to be better. That's all. So give me the Panthers in this one. 2:30 NBCSN, you have the Preds at the Coyotes. I'm going to go with the Preds to go up 2-1. They're the better team. Maybe Juicy Saros gets another start. Maybe they'll go back to Rene. But regardless of who's in net, I do think that the Preds will win this game. 4 o'clock, the Lightning and the Bruins. Round robin. I am going to go with the Boston Bruins. I think that they're the better team. Although, I think the Tampa Bay can win, absolutely. But I do think it's a close game. I won't be shocked if it goes into a shootout. Avalanche Stars in the West round robin. I'm going to go Colorado. I think that they earned that 1 seed. I'm a big fan of their roster. So give me the Avalanche. 8 o'clock NBCSN, the Penguins and the Canadians. That's a 1-1 series right now. I'm going to go with the Penguins here. They'll go up 2-1. They had to win that game the other day. I think that they'll go up 2-1. It's just surprising that they lost that game 1 in overtime, or else they'd be going for a sweep tonight. So give me the Penguins to take a 2-1 series lead. And then 10:30 NBCSN, the Oilers and the Blackhawks. I'm going to go with the Oilers here. I did predict the Blackhawks to win game 1, but the Oilers to win the series in 4, if that makes any sense. But give me the Oilers to go up 2-1 against the Blackhawks, courtesy of Connor McDavid. I think he'll follow up his performance from Monday into another good performance today. Now I'm going to go over the NBA scores from yesterday and look ahead to the games today. The Brooklyn Nets with a surprising 119-116 upset over the Milwaukee Bucks. 32-35 are the Nets, and the Bucks are 54-14. So the Nets sat Joe Harris, Jared Allen, Karis LeVert. That's why that number is 18.5. But the reason why the Nets won this game outright is not just because of their role players playing so great, but the Bucks sat Giannis and Chris Middleton in the second half. That opened up Pandora's box for Brooklyn. Giannis only had 16 points, but that was all in the first half. Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot had 26 for Brooklyn to lead the way for that big upset win. Mavericks over the Kings 114, 110 in overtime. Dallas 41-29, Sacramento 28-39. De'Aaron Fox had 28 points and 9 assists. Luka Doncic 34 points, 20 rebounds and 12 assists. He was tremendous. An absolute monster, showing the reason why he's going to be a franchise player for the Mavericks for years to come. That was a big win for the Mavs, much needed win. Suns over the Clippers 117-115 on a buzzer beater by Devin Booker as time expired. Phoenix 29-39, Clippers 45-22. Devin Booker had 35 points and 8 assists. Kawhi Leonard 27 points for the Clippers. Pacers over the Magic 120-109. I said the wrong team was favored and I was proven right. Indiana's been very good. I think they're 3-0 in the restart so far because they beat Philly, they beat Orlando, and then they beat somebody. Oh, it was the Wizards. I knew it was one of those bad teams that are in here. Indiana 42-26, Orlando 32-36. TJ Warren follows it up again, 32 points for Indiana, and Nikola Vucevic 24 points and 10 boards for Orlando. Heat over the Celtics 112-106, and that was without Jimmy Butler. That's what made this win very impressive for Miami. 43-25, Boston 44-23. Bam Adebayo led the way for Miami, 21 points, 12 boards. Jason Tatum had 23 to lead the Celtics. Trailblazers over the Rockets 110-102, so good bounce back win after a great effort against the Celtics fell short. They're 31-38, Houston 42-25. Damian Lillard 21 points and 8 assists. James Harden 23 points and 9 assists. Today's games at 2:30 you have the Grizzlies against the Jazz. That should be a very interesting matchup, to say the least. Obviously, Grizzlies holding on to your life for that 8 seed. Utah is a 5-point favorite, according to FanDuel. I personally would make the Jazz a 5.5-point favorite. And obviously, I have to account the injuries to Bojan Bogdanovic and Jaren Jackson Jr. So that turns out to be 5.5. I'm not going to touch a side because my number's 5.5, so I'm a half-point off here. Instead, I'm going to switch over to the total. The total keeps going down. My buddy Jared Smith, who is a really, really good gambler and is the co-host of the Morning After podcast along with Ariel Epstein, noted on Twitter this morning that number, that under, keeps going down from 223 now down to 220. I think that's due to the injuries, and I'm going to follow that train. I'm going to take the under in this game if I had to make a play. In terms of who wins, I'm going to say Utah. I think the loss of Jaren Jackson Jr. is a lot for Memphis to overcome, and I think John Morant can't do it alone. So give me the Jazz to win this game, but my play here is the under. 4 o'clock, you have the Nuggets and the Spurs. I would make the Nuggets a 9.5-point favorite over the Spurs, and it's only 3. I don't get the undervalued of the Denver Nuggets. Oh my God! Like, LaMarcus Aldridge isn't even playing, and even if Aldridge was playing, I'd make this 7.5. Like, I don't think the Spurs are very good. They're playing very well in this restart, absolutely. They covered against the Sixers, they beat the Grizzlies, and then they beat the Kings, but like, Kawhi Leonard's not on the Spurs anymore. And what's the problem with the Nuggets? They're only 3-point favorites. Oh my God. So give me the Denver Nuggets -3 against the San Antonio Spurs. And then you have the Philadelphia 76ers against the Washington Wizards also at 4 o'clock. I would make the Sixers a whopping 13-point favorites due to all the injuries that the Wizards have. The line's 10.5. I take the Sixers minus the 10.5 right here against the Wizards. At 6:40, you got the Thunder and the Lakers, what should be an awesome game. I would make the Lakers a 5.5-point favorite, and they're favored by 6. I'm going to avoid the line because it's a half-point difference. I'm going to take the over. I think 217.5 is very low. I know the Lakers have been playing low-scoring games and defense of late. That's been their MO, and that's Frank Vogel's MO pretty much. But I like the over here. I think that their offense will get going. I think Anthony Davis will have another big game, as will LeBron. I think that Oklahoma City can score. Chris Paul, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Steven Adams inside. I think Steven Adams will have a big game. So give me over 217.5 in the Thunder-Lakers game. 8 o'clock, you have the Raptors and the Magic. I would make this game Raptors by 10, and it is Raptors by 7.5. And if Isaac was there, I'd make it 9. But I'm going to go with the Raptors minus 7.5. I have a small edge here. So give me the Raptors minus 7.5 against the Magic, as I think they'll win. And by the way, I think the Lakers will beat the Thunder, but my play in that game's the over. And then last but not least, Brooklyn and Boston. I would make this line 9.5 in favor of the Celtics, and it is indeed... Actually, no, it's 8.5, so I'm 1 point off with this line. I think that is a major overreaction to what Brooklyn did yesterday, and how the Celtics kind of almost collapsed against the Blazers. But I'm not going to touch the line because I'm 1 point off. Instead, I'm going to go to the total. And I'm going to take the over here. I think that Brooklyn plays fast. They hit a lot of threes. I think that Jamal Crawford could be ready to go. He left the game the other day with an injury. So I'm going to take the over here, but I think the Celtics will win. But my play here, over 226 in the Celtics-Nets game tonight. Now I'm going to go over the Major League Baseball games from yesterday and look ahead to the games today. There's more games today because some games got postponed due to Hurricane Isaias, or I should say Tropical Storm Isaias. But the winds and stuff down here in the New York area really caused a lot of power outages and trees falling down and all that stuff. But anyway, baseball scores. Twins over the Pirates 7-3. The Twins are 9-2. Pittsburgh 2-9. Jose Barrios the win. Joe Musgrove the loss. Trevor May gets the save. Trevor May and Taylor Rogers. Very confusing, I know. Home runs in this game, there were none, surprisingly. But the most surprising thing about this game, believe it or not, was that there was a drone that flew over Target Field. Very unexpected, a drone. Like, who flies a drone in the middle of the game? That's the second weird thing I've seen so far in the MLB restart, with the other one being a balloon flying into Dodger Stadium. Weird that, obviously the balloon you have no control over, but the drone, there's nobody in the drone. It's just somebody flying. It's literally like a toy helicopter. But that was very, very weird that flew into the game. Meanwhile, the pitching lines. Jose Barrios, 6 innings, 4 hits, an earned run, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 4.8. And Joe Musgrove, 3 and the third inning, 6 hits, 5 runs, 5 walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA 6.75. Indians over the Reds 4-2. The Indians are 6-6. Cincinnati's 5-6. Shane Bieber to win. Nate Jones the loss. Brad Hand the save. Homers in this game. Nicholas Castellanos tied with the Major League lead with Aaron Judge. Eugenio Suarez and Franmil Reyes with the go-ahead shot in the top of the 8th. Shane Bieber, 7 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA of 0.83. Tyler Mahle, 6 innings, a hit, no runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 1.8. Rays over the Red Sox 5-1. The Rays are 5-6. Boston's 3-8. Charlie Morton the win. Nathan Eovaldi the loss. Nick Anderson the save. Home run in this game, Mitch Moreland, but the Rays overcame that and scored a bunch of runs later on. Morton, best start so far, 5 and 2/3 innings, 5 hits and a run, no walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 5.52. Nady Eovaldi, 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts, ERA 3.94. Nats over the Mets 5-3. The Mets dropped to 4-8. The Nats are now 4-4. Patrick Corbin the win, Steven Matz the loss, Daniel Hudson the save. Home runs in this game: Josh Harrison, Howie Kendrick, Michael Conforto. And by the way, Michael Conforto is absolutely owned Patrick Corbin. Corbin, 5 and 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, and walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA of 3. Steven Matz, 3 innings, 5 earned runs, 7 hits, 3 strikeouts, no walks, ERA 5.65. Braves over the Blue Jays 10-1. The Braves are 8-4. Toronto's 3-5. Max Fried the win. Max Shoemaker the loss. Home runs in this game: Matt Adams, Tyler Flowers, and Austin Riley. Max Fried, 6 innings, 4 hits, and a run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 2.04. Matt Shoemaker, 4 and 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA 5.91. White Sox over the Brewers 3-2. The White Sox are 7-4. Milwaukee's 3-5. Lucas Giolito to win. Devin Williams the loss, and Alex Colom the save. Home runs in this game: Ben Gamel and Eloy Jimenez. Giolito, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, ERA 5.17. Woodruff, 6 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts, ERA 2.08. Cubs over the Royals 5-4. The Cubs are 9-2. The Royals are 3-9. Kyle Hendricks the win. Brady Singer the loss. And getting the save for the Cubs was Kyle Ryan. Home runs: Jason Hayward, Jason Kipnis, and Wilson Contreras. Kyle Hendricks, 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 3.54. Brady Singer, 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA of 4.8. Marlins over the Orioles 4-0. First game post the COVID, and they get the win. They're 3-1. Baltimore is 5-4. Pablo Lopez the win. John Means the loss. Home runs: Francisco Cervelli and Jesus Aguilar. Pablo Lopez, 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts, 0 ERA. Great line. John Means, 4 and 2/3 innings, 2 hits and a run, no walks, 4 strikeouts, ERA 7.71. He looked better today than he did against the Yankees. Rocks over the Giants 5-2. The Rocks are 8-2. San Fran 5-7. Herman Marquez the win. Kevin Gausman the loss, and getting the save, Yency Almonte. Home run in this game: Nolan Arenado. Herman Marquez, 7 1/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 9 strikeouts, ERA 1.89. Kevin Gausman, 5 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 7 strikeouts, ERA 5.27. Astros over the Diamondbacks 8-2. Houston 6-4. Arizona 3-8. Christian Javier the win. Madison Bumgarner the loss. Home runs in this game: Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa. Javier, 6 innings, 4 hits and a run, a walk, 2 strikeouts, ERA 1.42. Bumgarner, 4 1/3, 7 hits, 7 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA 7.04. A's over the Rangers 5-1. The A's are 7-4. Texas is 3-6. Liam Hendricks to win, and Edinson Volquez the loss. Home runs in this game: Matt Chapman, and then a walk-off grand slam by Stephen Piscotty. So that was the second walk-off grand slam of the year for Oakland, with the other one coming on that first Friday night of the season by Matt Olson. Jesus Luzardo, 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 2.31. Lance Lynn, 6 1/3, 3 hits and a run, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, ERA 0.49. Dodgers over the Padres 5-2. Dodgers 8-4. Padres 7-5. Dustin May to win. Craig Stammen the loss. Kenley Jansen the save. Home runs in this game: AJ Pollock and Jake Cronenworth, who's their first baseman with Eric Hosmer on the injured list. Dustin May, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 8 strikeouts, ERA 2.63. That was his best start so far. Danielson Lamet, 5 2/3, 2 hits and a run, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA 1.72. Angels over the Mariners 5-3. Angels 4-7. Mariners 4-8. Andrew Heaney to win. Justin Dunn the loss. Ty Buttery to save. Home runs: Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, David Fletcher, and of the Mariners, the outfielder Dylan Moore. Andrew Heaney, 5 2/3, 3 hits and earned runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 2.35. Dunn, 4 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, ERA 6.43. Today's games, 4 o'clock, game 1 of a doubleheader. It's from Citizens Bank Park, but the Yankees are considered the home team due to the storm. Zach Wheeler and Jordan Montgomery Wheeler 1-0 with the 1.29 whip of 1. Montgomery 1-0 with the whip of 1.59 whip of 1.06. Another doubleheader game 1, Marlins-Orioles. Alicia Hernandez making the season debut against Alex Cobb. Cobb 1-0 with the 2.89 ERA. 6 o'clock, Mets-Nationals. Rick Porcello, Max Scherzer. Porcello 0-1 with a 13.5 ERA, whip of 3. Scherzer 0-1 with a 2.84 ERA, whip of 1.26. Red Sox-Rays. Martin Perez and Ryan Yarbrough. Martin Perez 1-1 with the 5.06 ERA, whip of 1.31. Yarbrough 0-1 with the 1.54 ERA, whip of 0.86. 7 o'clock, game 2 of the doubleheader, Yankees-Phillies. Yankees are probably going with an opener. They haven't announced the starter yet. And then Aaron Nola, 0-1 with a 6.75 ERA, whip of 1.13. Twins-Pirates. Randy Dobnak against Trevor Williams. Dobnak 1-1 with the 1 ERA, whip of 1.11. Williams 0-2 with the 5.4 ERA, whip of 1.56. 7 o'clock as well. You have the Blue Jays against the Atlanta Braves. Heijun Ryu against the Sean Newcomb. Ryu 0-1 with the 8 ERA, whip of 1.89. Newcomb, no decisions, 8.22 ERA, whip of 1.57. Reds-Indians. Tajay Anante against Mike Clevenger. Anante, no decisions with a 2.08 ERA, whip of 0.46. Clevenger 0-1 with a 4.91 ERA, whip of 1.36. Cubs-Royals at 8:05. Yu Darvish against Chris Bubic. Darvish 1-1 with the 2.7 ERA, whip of 9. Bubic 0-1 with the 4.5 ERA, whip of 1. Doubleheader game 2, Orioles against the Marlins. Asher Wojciechowski against a TBD. I guess this is also at Baltimore, but it's going to be considered a Marlin home game. So Asher Wojciechowski only won the 7.2 ERA, whip of 1.2, and the Marlins don't have somebody listed yet. Brewers-White Sox. Adrian Hauser and Dallas Keuchel. Hauser 0-0 with the 1.8 ERA, whip of 0.8. Keuchel 2-0 with the 3.38 ERA, whip of 1.03. 8:40, the Giants against the Rockies. Logan Webb against John Gray. Both players have no decisions. Webb, 2.35 ERA, whip of 1.96. Gray, ERA of 2.61 with the whip of 1.06. 9 o'clock, Astros, Diamondbacks. Lance McCullers against Robbie Ray. McCullers 0-1 with a 5.4 ERA, whip of 1.8. Ray 0-2 with an 8.64 ERA, whip of 2.16. Rangers, Athletics. Kyle Gibson, Sean Manaea. Gibson 0-1 with a 0 ERA, whip of 1.6. Manaea 0-2 with a 7 ERA, whip of 1.22. Dodgers against the Padres. Ross Stripling and Garrett Richards. Stripling 2-0 with a 2.92 ERA, whip of 0.81. Richards, no decisions, 3.38 ERA, whip of 1.22. And at 9:40, Angels Mariners. Julio Teheran making his Angels debut against Marco Gonzalez. Gonzalez 1-1 with a 2.53 ERA, whip of 0.94. Now I'm going to go over the MLS's tournament game for today and make a pick. It's the semifinals in what has been a very fun tournament thus far. Today's matchup in the semifinals is in between the Philadelphia Union against the Portland Timbers. I think this is a good match. Both these teams have done a good job in this restart. And in terms of my pick, I think the Philadelphia Union are the better team. I think that they will advance, led by their studs of Sergio Santos and Andre Black, their goalkeeper, and Ilsinho, their middle fielder. So give me the Philadelphia Union over the Portland Timbers, who also have talented players such as Diego Valeri and Diego Chara, Andy Polo, Yimi Chara. And then obviously tomorrow's game between Orlando City and Minnesota, I will pick on the podcast tomorrow. Now I'm going to make a pick for the PGA Championship, which begins tomorrow. You'll see coverage on ESPN Plus, maybe a little bit on the Golf Channel, and obviously on the worldwide leader that is ESPN. This is the first time you're seeing golf on ESPN, in a very long time. It should be a lot of fun. So many big names. I'm going to go back to FanDuel for some of the odds. Brooks Koepka and Justin Thomas are co-favorites at 11-1. Rory McIlroy 14-1. Jon Rahm 15. Bryson DeChambeau 16. Xander Schauffele 18. Dustin Johnson 23. Patrick Cantlay 27. Colin Morikawa 30. Webb Simpson 30. Daniel Berger 35. Tiger 37. Hideki Matsuyama, Jason Day, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Ricky Fowler, Tommy Fleetwood are 40-1. Gary Woodland, Victor Hovland 45-1. Patrick Reed 46. Shane Lowry 47. 50-1 you got Tony Finau and Tyrrell Hatton. Abraham Ancer and Jordan Spieth are at 65-1. 70-1 Louis Otsian and Phil Mickelson. 75-1 Adam Scott, Justin Rose, Mark Leishman. 85-1 Scotty Scheffler, Sergio Garcia, Sungjae Im. 90-1 Henrik Stenson. And then you're in like the triple digit, the ones. Notables there. Harry English is 110. Bubba Watson's 120. Chez Reavie's 120. Joaquin Neiman's 120. Ryan Palmer 170, Kevin Na 190. That's crazy for him. Ian Poulter 200, Jason Kokrak's 200 as well. Lucas Glover's 200, Luke List 200, Richie Werenski 200. So some familiar names. Mackenzie Hughes 250-1. So many familiar names have triple digit odds. JT Potson 300-1. But yeah, this should be a good tournament. In terms of my pick, I'm gonna go with somebody who I picked earlier in this golf restart, and I was correct on this guy. And that, my friends, is none other than Dustin Johnson. 23-1. I got him at 20-1. I'm probably going to pounce on it at 23-1. So my pick to win this, I'm going to go Dustin Johnson, 23-1. I'm obviously going to consider some other guys to just put sprinkles on. Tiger, I think, is a good number at 37. Jason Day has been playing better. A couple top 10 finishes in a row. Shane Lowry, I'm going to consider him. Tony Finau is a good number. Sergio Garcia is a good number. And a couple of those triple-digit odds guys that I think are crazy overpriced. Jason Kokrak, obviously. Kevin Na, Ryan Palmer. Sungjae Im is 85. I think that's crazy. Harris English is a crazy number as well. So my pick, Dustin Johnson, 23-1. And now, best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. I alluded to it earlier in today's show. I don't understand why everyone is undervaluing the Denver Nuggets. They're -3 against the Spurs. That is insane. They should not be this short of a favorite. Like, this is crazy. I think it is absolutely crazy. Like, the Spurs don't have LaMarcus Aldridge. I know the Spurs are playing better, and I adjusted their number with better results. But they should not be only 3-point dogs against the Nuggets. I'm sorry. So give me the Denver Nuggets -3 against the San Antonio Spurs for my best bet of the day. That's it for the podcast today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping the NHL. And by the way, Islanders and Panthers sitting at 0-0 still. NBA, baseball, any latest news with the COVID situation for Major League Baseball, any word we get from the Cardinals, we'll have for you on the podcast. We'll take a peek at the leaderboard in the PGA Championship. We'll go over the MLS semifinal game and look at the one for tomorrow night as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.